home care owners, I'm gonna show you today my sales metrics that I track every day that has exploded my home care marketing agency that I have, and I have over 100 5-star ratings that show me that I help a lot of seniors get home care for free. So these are the top metrics that I track every day with my overseas team that I have. Today, I'm gonna talk about the 8 key sales metrics, and I'll explain why each matter and how this has turned my business around and has made it successful. Okay, we're gonna start with speed to lead. Speed to lead is very important. It's one of the most important metrics, because if you're doing Facebook or Google, you want to call people ASAP. You don't want to call them tomorrow. You don't want to call them the day after. You want to call them right away, because people have lives and tomorrow is not a good time. The best time is right away. So I have Go High Level. We use Go High Level, and Go High Level, you can track that. You want to track the moment that lead comes from Facebook or from Google or from our landing page. You want to call it ASAP, and you want to track that. So it has to be less than 5 minutes if you want to explode those sales. That's very important. If you're not doing that, if you're not calling your leads really fast, trust me, just do this or hire someone to help you call those leads, and you'll see the amount of leads that you're going to convert. The next thing we track, because we have an overseas team, so we're tracking calls. I want to know how many reps the overseas team is doing, because it's like the gym. When you're at the gym, you're focusing on how many sets and how many reps you're doing per set. In sales, it's the same thing. It's all about volume. So you want to know, you gotta at least 100, 150, 200 per day, because that's how it is. That's how you have to dial. You have to reach out, you have to track those reach outs. Okay, so how many calls your reps are doing is very important. The next metric that I track is conversations, because you want to know from those calls how many people are real humans, talking with your reps. So conversations is key. From there, how many interested leads? So how many from those leads are interested, they're considering our services. You need to track that, okay? From there, from those interested, how many book, because this is key. Like most of the time, seniors or whatever service you're offering, if, they're busy, they're watching TV, they're in the supermarket, whatever, you want to formally create an appointment so they can listen to you. Because what do you want to do? You want to change their behavior. You want them to do something. So if they're busy or they're watching TV, they're not going to pay attention to what you're saying. So you want to formally create an appointment. They can listen to you, and you can actually sell them, okay, on their services. Okay, most of the time what we do, because we also have an automatic system that they can, with just by going into our landing page, they can schedule their own appointment. Even if they schedule their own appointment, what we do is we call them right away, and we're like, hi Maria, today it's your lucky day, because I got 5 minutes. If you want, we can talk. We can do the meeting right now if you want. If not, we can schedule. We can do it definitely with the time that you scheduled. Okay, but this is very important, because you want to pull those appointments into the present. That's what you want to do. From there, you want to track something that's show rate, because the most important thing is, if people are booking appointments, you want them to appear to those appointments, okay? So this is very important to track how many people are landing into the appointment, okay? And from those show rates, you want to know how many sales are being converted, okay? So you see, it's a step by step. So it's calls, conversations, interest, booked, showed, sales. So by tracking this, you would know where the problem is with your team, and you can help them. Okay, one of the performance ratios we track are these. So we track 5, which is very important. One of the best ones that I've learned was from Alice Ormosi, BAM FAM. So book a meeting from a meeting. So you don't want people leaving things in the air. No, you want to formally create an appointment. So there's always a next step, and seniors or their families know exactly when you're going to call them next time. So it's very important to have BAM FAM. How you track BAM FAM? That's why we track conversations. So with conversations, you track BAM FAM. So every conversation, how many are converting to appointments? So you use conversations and meeting book to see how the percentage of BAM FAM. So it works very well. Schedule rate. Schedule rate or book rate is very important because you want to track the percentage of people that are booking. So from interested, because they said they're interested, how many are being booked? You want to track that. You want to track show rate. So from the booked appointments or scheduled appointments, how many showed? So that's a very important percentage. And close rate. So from those that showed, how many we were successfully able to close them. Okay, so you want to track that, because when you track that, there's some benchmarks that you can actually Google or ask ChatGPT, like how much is what would be the benchmark in your industry, and you can track, so you know if you need to improve or you're good. Lead close percentage is very good because you want to track from interested all the way to close, how many percent of your leads are being closed. Okay, you can do it by leads or you can do it by interested. Most of the time I do it by interested. Okay, so this is exactly what I track. I use a simple Excel that I use with 2 sheets. One sheet is daily, one sheet is weekly. So you want to track what's going on daily, because Alex Hormozi says that everything's about inputs. Inputs is activities, and outputs you track because those are like delayed. So you want to track them weekly. Okay, when I started tracking these numbers, I realized I was losing so many people because I was not tracking appropriately. And this makes me so much easy to manage my team. So hopefully you learn from this. And if you want, you can actually join our community that's completely free for home care owners and doctors and people in the medical industry. So in this school, I'll leave you the Google Sheet and everything and how we track this. Thank you.